Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Our first post is from Bacon Elena. I 25 regret moving in with my GF22F. What can I do about it? I met my girlfriend about 7 months ago while visiting family in my home city. We lived far apart, but we managed to develop a relatively strong relationship. At first, she was open to moving to my city but later changed her mind. She started bugging me instead to moving back to her city since I work remotely. She would cry about it and made me feel like she could not spend 2 weeks without seeing me. We visited each other twice per month and usually stay with each other for about a week each visit. I had a really nice downtown apartment in Austin, fully furnished, clean and modern. I make good money, $140K plus, and to be honest, I was very comfortable living alone. But I liked her enough to consider moving in with her. So, I sold my furniture, most of which I bought less than a year ago, and drove my car 1,000 miles to be with her. I had told her before moving in, my biggest fear is that I may not be comfortable since I will feel like the place is not truly mine. She promised that it's my home too, and she wants me to see it as that. But now I don't know how I feel about this decision. I'll list a few of the issues here. 1. She gets mad if I forget to return the shower head to the position she prefers, takes less than 3 seconds to change. 2. The shower curtain has to always be closed if I forget. She is mad. 3. She is often moody and depressed and is mean to me for absolutely no reason. If I touch anything of hers and forget to place it back to the right spot, she is mad. 4. She is extremely selfish with her food, even things I pay for. She got mad the other day because I ate 1 flat wing out of 5. She said I should have eaten a drum because I know she prefers the flats. Mind you, I paid for the food, and she had 5 flats, 5 drums. 5. She barely respects my sleep. She has 2 big dogs, and she will bring them in the room at 6 a.m. and they'll jump on me and wake me up. I try to tell her to not do that, but she won't listen because she is in love with the dogs and she won't change a thing. 6. I have also been picking up most of the bills. And I feel like that is the main reason she wanted me to move in so badly. Looking back, she is a teacher and wasn't going to get paid for 2 months of the summer break. I see why she wanted me to move in so badly before the end of the school year. 7. Meanwhile, the contact in bed has completely disappeared. When I try, I get pushed away. 8. She expects me to be in control of everything. The other day she told me she wanted to do groceries. I was working. I told her we can go after work. On our way to the grocery store, she became extremely moody. When I asked her what was wrong, she said she is annoyed because I don't tell her what the plan is. When I asked her what she means by plan, she said I didn't tell her what I wanted to buy or cook this week. She likes to have a plan as to what she is gonna get. But she is the one who told me she wanted to do groceries. How is it my fault that you don't know what to get? Needless to say, I don't feel at home here. To be honest, I have been slowly putting back my clothes in my suitcase. I haven't decided to leave yet, but I am not sure how to address everything with her. Whenever I tell her something is wrong, she'll cry and blame me for giving her anxiety. How can I approach the situation? In the comments below, Goif Puff says it best. You tried living together and found out you are not compatible. It's time to exit this relationship. Our next post is by Throwaway. I, 50F, introduced a girl to my son, 25M, while he was in a situationship. So I, 50-year-old female, never understood why my son's girlfriend was always so cold to me. For context, they are both 25-year-olds. A week ago, my daughter told me it was 'cause I introduced a girl to my son while he was in a situationship with the girl. So 3 years ago, before he officially started dating his current girlfriend, he was in a situationship, which apparently meant they were interested in each other but wasn't together. It was like that for a few months, and he was always spending luxury gifts for her, inviting her to our house, and when I would ask him whether they were together, he said that she was still considering it, since there's a lot of guys interested in her, and she's talking to some of them. She's a very attractive online influencer. About the 7th month that I knew about this situationship, I met a really nice girl who was working for me, and she was very interested in my son. So I gave my son her number and told him that she's interested in him and I think she's nice. He just nodded, and he got together with his current girlfriend about 3 to 4 months later. So I wanted to talk to her while she was at our house today to apologize if I came off the wrong way. She said that I should have minded my business since it wasn't my relationship, and I mentioned that I thought it was a situationship where they weren't committed. And she said that every situationship boundaries were different. My daughter disagreed with her and said I should post it on Reddit. Is there any ways I can salvage the relationship? She didn't seem to appreciate our conversation and is getting even colder. My son, however, seems to be really determined to marry her. Edit. Also to add, I've not had many interactions with her over the course of their relationship. Maybe one other really bad interaction we had was when she dropped out of college. She was just 1.5 years away from graduation. I think her online persona really hit off and she decided to do it full time. I thought it was a really bad idea and told her that she should stayed and nagged at her. But I wasn't paying her tuition fees, so I probably shouldn't have said anything. Update. So I wasn't prepared to give an update cause I was ready to sit back and just remain cordial. But my daughter decided to tell my husband. For those asking, my husband is a present father, but he is always away from town, which is why we are more comfortable than the average family in town. Anyways, my husband came back early and he was not happy. I was out when he came back, but he threw my son out. He said that he expected real change from him before he is allowed back. When I got back, my son already packed his essential and left. My husband have to leave tomorrow, but my son is already texting me saying that it was heartless of us and so on. I'm not sure what to do now, but my husband told me to just take care of the house and he will handle this away from town. My daughter was very supportive of my husband and has been screaming at my son whenever he comes knocking. As much as I love how much my family has tried to support me, but I feel like my family's torn apart. I never wanted to have my son kicked out and never wanted such discord in my family. If there's a positive outcome, I will update again and soon hopefully, but for now, I've prepared a small amount of cash for my son till he can find a way to stand on his own. And I would like to thank all of you lovely people who left such nice comments. But I'm not sure if I could have fully conveyed the nuances of my situation 100% fairly. OP gives a bit more insight to the situation. So my husband initially was not trying to kick my son out, he wanted to have a talk with him. And coincidentally, his girlfriend was home, and apparently she got really angry that my husband barged into the house when they were enjoying a movie. So she left the house and my son started getting angry at my husband, which led to a full-blown fight and him getting kicked out. Also, I am aware that I overly pampered my children. Usually kids here move out on their own at 21, but since my son was doing exceptionally well academically, and he was promising me a lot of opportunities for him, I convinced my husband to bear the financial grunt for him to finish college. We take education opportunities very seriously, as both me and my husband were uneducated, and we worked day and night for his business to lift off. We just didn't want our son to suffer the same as we did. I guess I was digging my own grave, now that I think about it. Next up, posted by the farting throwaway. Today I effed up by not putting myself on mute. I have terrible gas, all the time, 24/7 toots. I never figured out why my gas is so bad. I probably should, and it's gotten worse in recent years as I've entered perimenopause. Yes, I'm an older lady, late 40s. I work for a software company in a public-facing role. I still work primarily at home, and let's just say I've gotten very comfortable about my bodily functions while working. 2 weeks ago, I was in a Teams meeting where I was one of the primary presenters for a number of government workers. I finished what I was presenting, and then I thought I put myself on mute. And then, as it had been building up, I left forth a veritable stream of farts. Then, I did it again. And shortly after I noticed that I wasn't on mute, I quietly muted myself and prayed that no one noticed. Turns out they did. No one said anything on the call. They must have been stunned into silence. The call ended not long after that. I tried to put it out of my mind. I'm very good, too good, at compartmentalization, due to a number of traumas and very embarrassing incidents in my life, and was able to successfully block the incident from my memory, pretend it didn't happen. That was until last week. My company holds a 4-day-long yearly internal conference for its technical staff. My boss, who is also working from home, was giving me strange looks and avoiding me. One person made an offhand comment about accidentally farting during yoga. Another person who I don't know that well was overly familiar with me in a way that made me uncomfortable. People who I am normally friendly with were not as friendly. A few days after the conference, it clicked. The memory of farting on the call came back full force. I connected the dots. I am my company's farting pariah. I have no idea how I'm going to move forward after this. I know I should feel humiliated and ashamed, but I have gone past that to acceptance. It happened. I can't change the past. It's done. I have my mid-year review with my manager tomorrow. I have terrible executive skills. I'm a late and recently diagnosed ADHDer. I'm a terrible slacker and I barely get any work done. As a result of this and the farting incident, I fully expect to be fired tomorrow. I kind of hope I will be. I don't know how to handle this if I'm not. TLDR. I farted a lot during a Teams meeting at which I was presenting and managed to block the memory until I was at a conference with my colleague and noticed that people were treating me funny. I am now a pariah. Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.